is Not Just a podcast where we get to know the person behind the job title. I'm your host, Amanda, and today we'll be chatting to Georgia Rickard, who is a journalist come media agency founder. We chat about her career journey, the new era of media and content, plus we discuss how she would love to become a professional skier. But more importantly, we speak about who she is outside of work. Let's get into it. Georgia, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Excited to have you. So your story is very interesting and I know we're going to chat about it. You were a journalist and then you worked for a travel magazine, and I love travel, so I feel like we have to have a separate conversation about that. And now you are a founder of a media agency.
Yes.
And you're helping businesses around Australia grow their social and content strategies. And I would love to delve into all of that stuff. And you're a big champion of women in business.
Absolutely.
There is so much we have to discuss.
Well,
welcome.
I'm excited to get into it.
Welcome.
Yes.
So my first question to you is who you were and what you were doing before you became a founder. Let's discuss. What was driving you then?
So look, most people would know me in Australia as somebody who has spent a long time in media. I was a journalist for a long time. My entry into journalism was very fast.
Yeah.
I spent 9 months working in recruitment in sales.
Well, talent is a recruitment agency, so we need to talk about that.
That's it. I mean, and look, it was the most unbelievable grounding for me as a career, because I started that job and in the first 3 days we had to generate 100 leads and then cold call them, book meetings with them and then go and sell.
Oh my God. So you didn't have a marketing team?
Absolutely not. No, I know.
Okay.
I could have used you.
Yes.
Anyway, so I did that and that taught me to cold call. So at 22, I quit that job and I cold called the editor of Cosmo.
Yeah.
And pitched myself as a journalist.
Good.
That was my very first gig. My very first paid writing gig was in media writing for Cosmo, which was the world's biggest selling magazine at the time. So dream job for me as a 22-year-old.
Yes. I remember going to the Cosmo events back
really?
in the day. Yes. The fun, fearless female ones.
Yes. Yes.
So good.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It was the place to be.
Yeah. And I had my subscription. I used to get it in the mail.
Isn't that funny that we used to subscribe to magazine content?
Yes.
Look, I mean, I just drank the cool. I loved it.
Yes.
And I always knew that I wanted to have a voice, right? Like I wasn't quite sure as what I stood for, right?
Yeah.
I was a generalist, which is what we all are when we start our careers.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what my subject matter expertise would be or my authority, but I knew I wanted a voice. And so that drove me. And, over the next kind of 5 to 10 years, I held some incredible positions in media. By 23, I was editing a national title. I was talking on Sunrise and at Kerry Ann and Channel 10. I mean, all kind of the major networks.
Yeah.
And then at 26, I became the editor of Australia's largest travel magazine.
Yes.
Then I had a couple of ambassadorship roles, editor at large for Virgin. I mean, it was a dream career.
So good.
But then at 30, I crashed. I had an eating disorder and I spent a year in rehab.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
what was that like?
I mean, it wasn't fun.
No.
It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
But I think sitting on the sidelines away from work and right before I went into rehab, I'd actually been working at Marie Claire, which was obviously like the epicenter of, mass media consumerism, like you're right in the center of the world, right? Working at a place like that. And suddenly I was on the sidelines, sort of scratching my head and looking at my navel and going, well, what do I want to do with my life?
Yeah.
And I knew I wanted to have a voice. I was also super unwell. And so I started listening to a lot of Tony Robbins.
Yep.
Kind of just to survive.
Yeah.
Like just to try and rewire my head to get through the day. And I started to notice that he sold through story. And this was right at the time when, content marketing was kind of evolving and taking the place of lifestyle journalism, right? Like everybody was becoming a publisher and developing their own voice. It wasn't just a media thing anymore. And so I started to look at, well, what would it look like for me to be able to develop a voice that was a bit more commercial and help others do the same. And so that was kind of my entry into business. And I spent the next couple of years building a couple of companies.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, that was what I was doing before I became a founder.
Yes. Okay, I have lots of questions, follow-up questions to all of this.
Okay.
Okay, what was one of your most memorable moments working at Cosmo and Marie Claire?
Oh my gosh. There was actually one moment when I was working at Australian Traveller and we all got flown up to Hayman Island.
Oh, yes.
And it was a celebration for MCO Cosmetics, which was called Model Co at the time.
Yes.
And they had just signed Rosie Huntington-Whiteley as their ambassador. And they'd flown her in for this party, and it was Danny Minogue was there. I mean, it was like there was this amazing kind of array of top tier local media and then international celebrity on this private island having this amazing party that was just for us.
So good.
It was so good. And it was just I was 26 maybe.
Yeah.
It was just one of those real sort of pinch me moments where you feel just almost in disbelief that this is your life. And of course, just so we're clear, I went home and had, tin soup for dinner.
Yeah. That was me at 26 as well.
Right.
Minus the party on the island.
So it was an amazing juxtaposition between, this incredible life, which is what media gives you, this privilege and this insight into this amazing world, but also then the reality of, well, let's just come down some pegs back into normalcy.
Yeah. And Cosmo, I do want to talk about Australian Traveller. Cosmo and Marie Claire, obviously huge magazines.
Yeah.
Cover shoots, were you on set for cover shoots? Was there a favourite celebrity that you got to meet or a memorable moment from, shooting somebody that was an icon or an idol of yours?
Do you know what? Actually, a lot of the time, those really big women's lifestyle titles here in Australia are not shooting, or they weren't back in the day. They weren't shooting international celebrities.
Yes.
They were buying images.
The images, yeah.
Because we didn't have access to them, but we knew that was what sold, right? It was a very different game back then.
Yeah.
But when I was at Australian Traveller, which was a smaller title, we made the decision to focus on celebrating Australians. So we shot a lot of Australian influentials and kind of celebrities locally. And so, gosh, a memorable shoot. There were so many.
Yeah.
I really loved going to Uluru with Claudia Carvin.
That would have been very special.
It was very special. She is a very special woman.
Yeah.
She's incredibly dedicated to her craft. She's incredibly dedicated to the craft of working hard.
Yeah.
And that was obvious kind of throughout the shoot, right? Like she's an actress and a producer and a businesswoman.
Yeah.
But you could see her work ethic in the way that she approached everything that we did over the course of our time in the Red Centre.
Yeah.
And I mean, I definitely saw that a lot with the kind of the top end of town. Every time we were working with, Katrina Roundtree, right?
Yeah.
Which at the time, obviously I was at Australian Travel, and she had the job that everybody wanted in travel.
Yeah.
And I remember calling her, and she was in transit, I think in Auckland, on her way to maybe South America. And I just wanted 2 sentences for a quote. And we spent about half an hour workshopping it. She was just so determined to do a good job and deliver above and beyond. And honestly, those lessons from working with people at the top end of town have stayed with me.
Yeah, and it makes such a difference.
Oh, unbelievably. Yeah.
I really love traveling, so I feel like you had the dream job of working for Australian Traveller. I feel like you would have had some amazing trips lined up.
I did.
Where is your favourite place to travel?
Oh my gosh. That's like the hardest question to answer.
I know. If you had to choose like one country that you could travel to every year, what would it be?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like saying what's your favourite food, right?
Yeah.
We've got different flavours for different moods.
Yeah, true.
personally, I think America is the best country. Europe is the best continent.
Yes.
And because of being Australian traveller, I really got to know Australia extraordinarily well.
Yeah.
And I remain extremely proud of this nation. And I've seen more of it than most people ever will in their lifetime.
Yes.
It's there are parts of Australia where there are colours that you just don't see in nature.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, it just black water and ochre rocks and turquoise skies, and it's almost impossible. It can't be real.
Yeah. Well, what's an untouched gem in Australia that you feel? Can you give it away where we should go?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's actually a man in America called Lee Abermonte, and he is the youngest American in the history of America to ever visit every UN recognized nation.
Okay.
And so when he got back to America, having visited every country in the world, Condé Nast Traveler asked him to write an essay on his experiences, where he would go, where he wouldn't. And one thing that he said was, I do not know what awaits man in the next life, but paradise on earth is surely Lord Howe Island.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were going to say Lord Howe Island. As soon as you started saying paradise, I was like, I think you're going to say Lord Howe Island.
Yeah.
I'm desperate to go.
It is exquisite.
Yeah, wow.
It is unbelievably breathtaking in so many ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it's this little speck in the middle of, the ocean. It's got this freak current that comes down from the equator, which gives it the world's southernmost tropical reef.
Yeah.
So you can snorkel there. They have no predatory animals on the island, so no dangerous spiders. The kids don't have to wear shoes. The natural beauty is extraordinary. I mean, it's only 12 kilometres in length, so you can just wander around without shoes and just enjoy life, visit a different beach every day. It's quite extraordinary.
Yeah. Desperate to go.
And it's only 2 hours from Sydney.
Yeah, so good. And you're still in New South Wales?
Yeah, that's right.
It's wild. Somebody please take me.
I will take you.
Thank you. I feel like we need a whole just other podcast to talk about travel and
and celebrity.
Yeah.
Two of my favourite things.
Yes. Well, this podcast is about you though. So my next question for you is, who are you when nobody's watching? Tell us about the version of yourself that exists completely outside of work.
Do you know what? I find that question a really tricky one to answer. And I think increasingly a lot of people would probably agree, because the line between personal and professional is disappearing.
Yeah, agree.
We're moving into an age in communications where things are becoming a lot more real time, right? Yeah. The barriers between production and publishing are getting smaller, right? Like live video broadcasting, podcasting, there's the way that we build trust now in marketing and branding is very much by showing ourselves and our humanity. And so the version of me that exists outside of work is kind of the same as the version of me that exists at work.
Yeah.
And I think I'm probably very lucky, and I know my clients would all agree with this, in that my passion is business. Like I'm obsessed with the growth and the learning and the insights and the challenge that comes from being better at what it is that I do.
Yeah. And why do you think that shift has happened?
There are a number of reasons.
Yeah. And I know you're talking at South by Southwest.
I am.
About this
topic.
Yeah.
Yes. There are a number of reasons. Probably the biggest ones are we've reached a level of fatigue in polished content.
Yeah.
If you think about the way that we used to consume content, right? Or ads.
Yeah.
When you watch an ad on TV, do you watch it or do you ignore it?
I normally ignore it. I'm normally like on my phone, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's just because we've learned to tune it out.
Yeah.
And we've reached a level with traditional content where if it's too polished, if it's too produced, if it's too anonymous and generic, It's the same as everything else out there. So we tune that out too.
Mm.
So if you want to cut through, it really is about your authenticity, your humanity, your uniqueness, your personality.
Yes.
And so AI has had a lot to do with that.
Yeah.
We are in a very noisy environment.
Mm.
But I also think we are entering an age where there is increasing divisiveness and disconnection.
Mm.
And so as humans, we're really searching and looking. We are hungering for connection with each other.
Yes.
And so those of us who are willing and brave enough to show ourselves authentically and congruently, offline and online, will be those of us who naturally attract others to us.
Yes, true. So true. I feel like I remember when New South Wales Police on Facebook, I remember they started like just commenting really funny memes and commenting just hilarious stuff, and it just made them feel so real. But I think that this was like 8 or so years ago, and I feel like that's what people want to see. They just want to see the big businesses doing that stuff, right?
Well, look, I mean, it depends on the business and the tone, but I think what you're pointing to there is we've reached an era where collectively we're all fluent in fakery.
Yeah.
Right? Like we all know what it looks like to add a little filter to our sunset on Instagram.
Definitely.
Right? We've all looked at the Google review and gone, is that legit?
Yeah.
You know, am I being catfished on this dating app? Right?
Yeah.
There's this kind of, we don't trust the perfect and the polished. There's this sort of friction online. And so anything that shows a level of humanity is something that kind of breaks the pattern of our expectation. Yeah. Develops trust. Yeah. And so whether you do that through humour, like with the New South Wales Police, legends.
So good.
Or, you know, with emotion.
Yeah, true.
Or with humility, like with admitting that you're still learning. Yes. Which is something that that's why Mel Robbins is so powerful and popular. Right? She's the number one thought leader in the world now. Yes. And she talks a lot about like, hey, I don't know everything. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who do you think's doing it really well? Like as in businesses and then an individual?
Thought leadership?
Yeah.
I think Zoe Foster-Blake here in Oz has done an extraordinary job of developing a voice that feels credible and human. She definitely has an element of thought leadership, although she isn't teaching. And I think, typically and traditionally a thought leader like Gabby Bernstein or Mel Robbins or Simon Sinek or Gary Vaynerchuk, right? Like they're all
teaching something.
They're all teachers. So I do think there's actually a big we've definitely entered that era, and in Australia it's still evolving. You know that we're hungering for those voices now. Yeah. But I think any big brand that is willing and brave enough to put their CEO in the podcast studio, or or let them speak for themselves on LinkedIn, any company that's doing that is winning the hearts and minds of its consumers, and that is basically the way of the world now. And there are plenty of them that are doing that.
Yes,
I think Tim Duggan.
Okay. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he writes for Sydney Morning Herald as well. And
he does.
Yes.
That's right.
I've read a few of his things.
So he started in youth culture, and then he became a publisher of Junkie Media.
Yes.
Which he founded.
Yeah.
And he's sold that. He's moved overseas. He still runs a Publishers Alliance here in Australia. A lot of people in media will know who he is.
Yeah.
But he's done a fantastic job of combining his kind of authentic voice, which is very community based and about the industry and his with his personal experience.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, I need to check him out more.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I don't know if this question, maybe people who...
Come on, give it to me.
Okay, well, I feel like people who know you professionally might already know the answer to this, but our audience might not know this.
Yeah.
So what's something you're deeply passionate about that would surprise people who only know you professionally?
The older I get and the more experienced I become, the more I realise I really don't know a lot.
Okay, yeah. We're humble. I feel like I'm the same though. There's that saying that if when you think you know it all, you really know nothing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think, we used to, sort of 10 years ago, we had this era of leadership, which was very masculine. It was very about the guru. Follow me. I know the way. This is how we do things. Like, I have the answers.
Yeah.
And last year, actually, at South by Southwest, I went to a talk with Laura Henschel, the co-founder of Kick.
Yep.
And she got up in front of the room and she said, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And for me, that was actually a really defining moment because what she was showing was that there is a feminine way to do leadership, which is based in outsourcing expertise to the community, right? Like she said, I lean on my team a lot. Like obviously she leads them.
Yes.
But she's often saying things like, I'm not quite sure that this is the right direction, but we're gonna get through this and learn it together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And leadership needs to be strong and clear and firm, and we do need a direction, and there needs to be some certainty. But there also needs to be increasing space for softness and humanity.
Yes.
And humility.
Yeah.
And so I think for me in particular, that was a really pivotal day because somebody who I both personally and professionally admired, Kerwin Ray, who was a thought leader who absolutely embodied that guruship style of leading. He actually committed suicide the very next, that same day.
Oh my gosh.
And so
awful.
it was, for me, it was a really, a very pivotal moment in thinking about what it looked like to be a leader who is visible moving forward and how I wanted to represent myself. And I think 2 years ago, you wouldn't have caught me admitting that I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And now I think the fact of the matter is, I have a lot of expertise and a lot of lived experience, as do you.
Yeah.
And I definitely know some things, but I also don't know a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's actually an immensely powerful statement to make.
Yes. So essentially you're passionate about the realness and the authenticity and not having all of the answers as a leader. Is that what you would say to sum it up?
I would say that I am passionate about the new style of leadership.
Okay, great.
And a new style of leadership is one that is transparent.
Yeah.
And congruent with who you are.
Yes.
And I think the more you can risk showing who you are, the more you will develop the trust with people that will have them buy into you and buy from you.
Yes.
And so as we enter into this era, this new age of communicating, where we are entering a time of personal media.
Yeah.
Those of us who are awesome people offline will build awesome brands online.
Yeah.
And so I'm passionate about this because what this says to me is that as we move into this age of AI, what's more important than ever is being an awesome human.
Yes. So
and that's so great.
Yes. We need more of the awesome humans.
We do.
Yeah.
We do.
This was going to be my next question, just to follow it. Do you feel like women get imposter syndrome and you feel like, do you think that there's a perception out there that we need to kind of hide who we are more than what men might have to? Or do you think that that's completely shifting now?
I mean, I think most of us feel a real pressure.
Yeah.
To perform.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it shows up differently for men and women.
Yeah.
Men definitely have it, right? Like their whole way of being is to challenge each other.
Yeah.
Right? It's to butt heads and determine who sits where in the hierarchy.
Yeah.
Whereas for women, we are often looking to others for the sense of permissiveness that says, oh, it's okay for me to show up as myself.
Yeah.
And so it's a great question. I do think probably as emotional beings, typically we as females probably feel the imposter syndrome more intensely. But I think it's something that we all struggle with.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's becoming less and less, but maybe just showing up in different ways. Like I think that we're able to be more authentic and real and talk about, motherhood and, women have got multiple jobs like in the office and then they go home and they have to, look after 3 kids, for example. So I feel like it is sort of evening out in a way where it's not like you can't, like, do you know what I mean? Like it's not just, I don't know if I'm articulating this really well.
Well, I think what I'm hearing from you is that it feels a little bit like another variation of the same theme, which is as we, move into this new world, there is less expectation to be one-dimensional and perfect.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's space much more to be honest. Hey, I'm a mother as well as a professional at work.
Yeah.
I have a life outside of my job, even though I love my job.
Yes.
I am still a growing human. I don't have all the answers.
I feel like it's that. You've articulated this way better than me. But that's what I was basically meaning.
Well, I mean, so really what it sounds like you're talking about there, and I think is an ongoing battle for all of us, is just, it's the theme of self-permission.
Yeah.
Right? Like, how can I give myself permission to forgive myself to be enough as I am right now? Oh my gosh, we're going so deep.
We are going so deep. All right. If you could be known for something completely different than what you're known for now, what would it be?
Ooh. I'd really, really love to be a professional skier.
Really?
A million. Have you ever skied?
Well, I've badly attempted 2 times to ski and it was not good.
It's really hard.
It's really hard.
Yeah.
Do you well, you obviously ski.
I love skiing, but I
need to do lessons with you then.
I'm not good. Like I'm just good enough to know that I'm not good. You know what I mean?
I feel like you're probably excellent and you're being very humble.
Love you. But look, I was lucky enough a couple of years ago to spend a day trailing a downhill Olympic racing champion in Canada.
That's cool.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And following him for a day, I really understood, this is how you ski.
Yeah, wow. Okay, what's the tip?
Well, I mean, do you know what he did? I mean, all I did was I just blindly followed along behind him. And I didn't stop to think.
Okay.
I didn't fight the mountain. I didn't fight the speed. I just, wherever he went, I went.
Yeah, right.
And normally, when you're skiing, well, you know what it's like. Like there's a lot of uncertainty and what's over this hill.
I'm fighting myself.
Yeah, right.
There are many things I'm fighting when I was doing those ski lessons.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard, but there's also, personally, I'm typically trying to like manage and control a lot before it's happened.
Yes.
And when I was with him, because he's done it so much and there's so much muscle memory, and I just made the decision to trust him, and we skied so fast.
Yeah.
I will never ski like that again.
Oh,
but I love going fast. I love speed.
Yeah, okay.
I hate being cold, so I don't know that I could actually be a professional skier realistically. But I mean, anything that takes me out of my head, and maybe this is because I had an eating disorder, and so I definitely have the addict gene.
Okay.
Anything that takes me out of my body or out of now, I love.
So how often do you ski in the year?
Oh, maybe once if I'm lucky.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I it's a pipe dream, baby.
Yeah, okay.
Other than that,
though.
Well, yes.
I feel like I need to come to ski lessons with you.
I would recommend ski lessons generally. It's it's such an awkward thing to do as an adult.
Well,
learning to ski.
Yeah, I didn't do it growing up. We were more like the beach holiday family.
Yeah.
And doing like sightseeing and stuff like that in summer.
I mean, that doesn't sound terrible.
It wasn't terrible, but yeah, I think I only went to the snow maybe like once or twice growing up, and we did tobogganing. We didn't do skiing.
It's a funny thing, I do think so many Australians, it's kind of like wanting what you don't have.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Australians who are obsessed with skiing precisely because we can't really do it that much.
Yeah.
I think
that makes sense.
It's we always want what we can't have.
True. All of my friends ski. I can't ski. It's quite sad actually.
Well,
I don't get invited to the ski trips.
I recommend. Other than that, though, I would say, if I weren't doing what I was doing now, I would want to be doing something that just fulfilled, the golden triangle. Like I would want to be doing something that paid me well, that gave me impact on other people and a sense of, recognition, I guess, or connection. And I would want to feel that I was doing something meaningful.
Yes.
Like money, impact, and meaning are kind of the three things that we all want from our lives and our careers. And if you don't have all three of those, you will feel out of alignment and kind of a bit like your soul's being crushed. And so those are that prism, the golden triangle, is what I evaluate every opportunity through.
I like that a lot because I've heard the saying of you either need to be learning or earning.
Yeah.
And if you're doing one, great. If you've got both, awesome. But if you've got none, then you need to move on.
Yes.
So I like that, another analogy of that with a triangle.
That is so true. I actually, Hormozy talks about this quite a bit, and he puts it another way. He talks about the 80% investment rule, which is that most people get to a point in their careers where they have they've invested 80% of paying off their mortgage, right? So they've done 8 years in a career. They've developed a good amount of subject matter or expertise.
Yes.
And then they get itchy.
Yeah.
And so they basically they get rid of that mortgage and they start again. Whereas if they just paid down another 2 years, that's when they would get, they would get the next level of success that they really wanted. And so I often think about that when isn't it fascinating?
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like that. Sorry, I cut you off. You said, I think about that when?
Well, I was going to say, I often think about that when I find myself getting, restless, irritable, or discontent with my current career path, which is, normal. We all go through periods of like,
true, of growth.
Is this right? Am I bored? Does this still have meaning for me?
Yes.
But commitment is important.
Yeah. So what do you do when you're going through that in your mind?
One thing that I find really helpful that helps me stay the course and committed to my journey is I will Google Earth, right? So I'll zoom right out and I'll say to myself, is the decision that I'm making to go in this direction something that I will look back on in 20 years' time and regret or not? If I feel excited by it and I feel this is tied to what I want for myself longer term, then it's a yes. And every time I have blown up a company, which I've done a couple of times, every time I've said no to an opportunity, which is also really hard, every time I've had to navigate some kind of tricky situation, which as a founder, you have to do a lot, right? You're just following your instincts a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And so making decisions, it has to come, based on external circumstance and climate and context and all those things. But much more importantly, it's got to be intrinsically aligned with the values of who you are and what you care about and what you want for yourself. And I think that's why I love entrepreneurialism so much, because at the end of the day, you spend a lot more time dealing with yourself and your own thoughts and what you observe and see. And so you have to get to know yourself quite well in order to be able to cultivate a business, a life, a situation for yourself that is aligned with what you want for yourself. And I think for that reason, it makes it a really beautiful but difficult tool for personal growth. Yeah. And it's not easy. It's not for everyone.
Yes. Well, I'm going to ask you in the next couple of questions something about just tough decisions and whatnot. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay. So, Georgia, now that we know more about who you really are, what's a lesson you've learned outside of work that actually made you better at your job?
I was single for 8 years.
Yep.
And I fell in love about a year ago.
Fabulous.
Yes. And that has had a really surprising impact on my willingness to show up in a new way at work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I read some quote on Instagram that was like, it's amazing how dangerous you get when you know that you're loved.
Okay, talk to me more about it. I feel like we've only touched the surface on this. What do you mean?
Well, I think I've been very sort of career driven and success oriented for a really long time.
Yeah.
Right. Go, do.
Mm-hmm.
And work is amazing for getting results because you do the job, you do the work, you press the button and you get the result.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the older I get and the more I start to consider what I really want for myself next and what is meaningful to me in my life, and the more I start to navigate saying yes or saying no to different decisions,
yeah,
the braver I've had to become in making those decisions. And one of those decisions for me recently has been the decision to really start stepping into my voice much more visibly.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something that I did do when I was younger, but always with the backing of big media houses.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing it on my own. And it's quite a scary shift to make. Like, well, who am I to stand on my own without the credibility or the backing or the alignment of, you know, whoever I happen to be working with or for. And falling in love. Falling in love's been amazing for that because it's helped me see that I can show up as myself and maybe actually people will love me. And I don't need to be associated with some big brand in order to still have value.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a long bow to draw. Like it's super romantic.
It's very romantic.
It could just be like hormones. But because it's like it's scary.
It is
my
scary.
God, no one told me it was going to be so scary.
Yeah. It's terrifying.
Are you with anyone?
Yeah, I'm married.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so
yeah,
maybe this isn't quite so fresh
but it's
for you,
still scary. Like when I still remember when we first got together, it's like, do they like me?
Do that? Yeah.
Do they not?
Yes.
Is this going to work out?
Yes.
I mean, nothing is a given anyway.
No.
Like any day.
That's right.
Yeah.
I would even say, in keeping with the theme of this conversation, the more authentically I have chosen to become more of myself, the more I have attracted clients, friends, people, a partner who really feel like me.
Yeah. Well, they talk about self-concept quite a bit, just around like what you put out in the world is what you attract, right? And if your self-concept is quite high, like how you view yourself or what you feel you deserve and all of that stuff, it will attract that into your life.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
You know,
it's a whole thing.
It is. Yeah.
It's almost like, it's sort of manifestation, but it's like, I don't know.
I do think it is manifestation. I mean, your vibe attracts your tribe.
Yeah,
about
true.
that.
Yeah.
And that works, you know, I mean, that's definitely true in marketing.
Yeah.
But I also think it's very true in life.
Yeah.
You know, when you're joyful and happy and also just being yourself, you're going to attract other people who also are joyful and happy and you know, are being themselves. It's just the way it works.
Okay, so how do these other sides of yourself show up in your work as a founder, even if people don't realize it?
When you're a founder, every part of you impacts your business. You know, I mean, every decision you make, every part of your vision, the way that you choose to interpret things that are happening, you know, like inputs that are coming in, you know, cancellations or emails or requests or whatever, all of that is defined by your emotional state, your happiness levels, your emotional awareness, your level of maturity. And so I think the success of your business and the rate at which it grows, it has to be linked inextricably to your personal growth and your willingness and ability to be brave and courageous and also to believe that the best is happening for you.
Yeah.
And that can be really tricky, right? Because there's constant roadblocks and challenges in business.
Yeah.
Especially when you're your income and the wealth of the business and the health of the business is tied to your personal health and wealth.
Yes.
And it's, it's bumpy and it's scary, it's thrilling and it's addictive.
Yeah.
And so I think the way that I am and the state of my well-being shows up in every area of my business every day.
Mm-hmm.
And probably one area where people really don't realize how much the other areas of me show up and impact my work is in the way that I deal with my staff and my contract. I because employees, staff, contractors, they're employees, staff, contractors. They haven't lived through what you've lived through in order to get to where you are.
Yeah.
That's why you're hiring them to do a job. So they just can't have the same level of awareness. Yeah. They don't know how hard it is to win the work. They don't know how hard it is to manage them and help them be the best that they are while also doing your job.
Yes.
And so of course there's not going to be empathy or awareness for that. And that's kind of your job as a leader, right?
Yeah.
It's one of the things about leadership that's so hard. It's not a very glorious job at all, right? You're not the one at the top. You're just the one who goes first.
Yes.
And so leadership and my leadership is intrinsically linked to how well I'm looking after myself, I would say.
Okay. Yeah.
The happier I am, the more well-fed I am, the safer and more certain I feel, the better I feel in my body, the more I'm looking after myself, going to the gym, eating well, getting enough sleep, all of those things. That has direct flow-on effects to the way that I manage my staff, the decisions that I'm making. So I think a healthy, happy founder is a healthy, happy business.
Yeah. Can you share a story from your work that perfectly captures how being fully yourself, not just the professional version, has made you successful?
So during the pandemic, 2020, I was editor-at-large for Virgin Australia. And I had a business called the Travel Boot Camp. So my business partner, who was Australia's first professional Instagrammer, and we would put on these events around Australia and New Zealand, and they taught people the business of how to get paid to travel. So we had a live event which we'd already booked and paid for with 200 people due to attend in Melbourne. So it was a live event teaching people how to get paid to travel in literally the world's epicenter of COVID.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then my job with Virgin was, of course, to travel and be an ambassador for them traveling. And so at the beginning of 2020, every single income stream I had shut down overnight. In about 3 weeks, my entire calendar for basically the year got cancelled. Virgin actually went into administration, voluntary administration. So my ambassadorship was put on pause. My business obviously also got put on pause. And I had no idea what I was going to do or how I was going to manage. And so I was trapped at home alone in my little, apartment. I decided to start showing up online. And sharing my predicament. And quite amazingly, because I think I was quite honest about what was happening for me, all of this goodwill started to flow to me in ways that were just completely unexpected. And one of the biggest things that happened for me was prior to Virgin, I had been the contributing editor to Tourism Australia. And I'd held that role with them for 3 years. And they saw that I had lost my job and they reached out to me and they said, we're going to look after you.
Wow.
And I think, again, because of the transparency with which I was showing up online and talking about what was happening for me and how I was going to come up with solutions that were going to help others while also helping myself. And it was a real lesson for me that your biggest mess often becomes the thing that leads to your greatest success.
I like that.
Thank you. But yeah, that year, we went from 2 part-time staff to a team of 16. It was the year that we cracked 7 figures for the first time.
Yep.
And so what started off as a complete disaster of a year for me, led to a really honest moment online, which I was then rewarded for by people buying into the truth of what was happening for me.
Yes.
And obviously there was a lot of value that we gave and solutions. I didn't stay in the mess.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think what that really showed me was that it's okay to show people that you don't always have it all together. And actually a lot of the time it is the moments where we say, I've had a tough time or I'm living through something, that other people will extend a hand and say, here.
Yes.
I'm going to help you.
So true.
And so, almost like what we were talking about at the very beginning of this chat.
Yes. We've come full circle.
We really have.
Wow. That's awesome. So what would people be most surprised to learn about what your job really involves day to day? It's my second last question.
Yeah. It's very clear to me that we are now in the age of the thought leader.
Yeah.
And it isn't enough to build an impersonal brand anymore. The brands that are going to have cut through in the next 20 years will absolutely be human and personal.
Yeah.
And so I think as I've been looking at the changing nature of communications and marketing and all of those trends, I've had to spend quite a lot of time researching, studying, strategizing, developing my own thought leadership in that area, right? Like that is what thought leadership is. It is to gaze at a problem and develop innovative leadership in your thinking.
Yeah.
So probably like you, I'm a pretty dynamic individual. I love to go. I love action. I love moving. I love, getting things done.
Yeah.
And at the moment, the really surprising thing for me, and I would imagine for a lot of people around me, is I'm spending a lot of time thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is not usual for me.
Okay.
So,
but it's kind of good in a way, right? Like to mix it up, to spend a bit of time thinking.
Yeah. I mean, look, we don't want to stay in our heads too long, right? Because if you get in your head, you're dead.
Yeah, that's so true.
But it's a wonderful thing to spend a bit of time being, strategic and really developing subject matter authority and expertise.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we are rewarded in public for what we practice in private. And so or everything that you do and that you work on your own becomes then, what you're rewarded for when you do move out in the world. And
so true.
Yeah. I mean, that's not just in business, right? That's also in fitness.
Yeah.
That's in relationships.
Yes.
Everything that you see or that they are just the results of what people have been working on quietly by themselves.
It's so interesting that we're talking about this because only this morning I read a quote that was basically that. And it was like, you showing up to the gym every day shows up in your physique like out in public.
Yeah.
And there was a whole heap of different things. So it's so interesting that this has like come up naturally in this conversation. And I was just reading that this morning.
I mean, look, is that
a sign?
That is vibe attracting tribe.
Yeah. I like this a lot.
Yeah. I mean, look, honestly, the idea of synchronicity in the universe is.
Yes.
I think the higher you get to joy, and the more self-expressed you become and the more authentically yourself you are, the more coincidences tend to show up in your life. It's so amazing.
True.
It is and I do truly think the braver you can be in just following the breadcrumbs of what interests you and excites you and makes you more of you.
Yes.
The more the universe will reward you with messages, people, things, coincidences. So
I 100% believe in all of that.
I think you're on the right track. We get into manifestation and vibration and so on. the highest vibrations are basically peace and joy.
Yes.
And the higher you vibrate, right, like the closer you are to source.
Yeah.
And so the best thing you can do in order to cultivate more synchronicities in your life is to follow your joy, right? Because joy is the breadcrumb that's leading you the way that you're meant to go.
Yes.
And, we can spend all our time in our heads and strategizing and, analyzing data and so on.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't make you feel good and it isn't meaningful to you in a way that and I don't mean like the kind of feel good joy that's, let's eat the extra serving of ice cream and watch maths. Like that's fun to do on occasion, but it's not the thing that's going to make you feel good in the long term.
No. So true.
And so all you really need to know, I do truly believe, is it's following your joy, because your joy is your blueprint to real success.
Yeah. Agree 100% with that. I love this. All right. Well, this leads me to my last question.
Give it to me.
Georgia, what is your hidden talent? This is what we're asking all of our guests.
Oh, dear. My hidden talents. Okay, one kind of weird thing that not a lot of people know about me.
Okay.
I was born with a syndrome. It's hypermobility.
Okay.
And what that means is I'm like triple jointed.
Oh my gosh, okay.
So I can put both my legs behind my head.
Oh my God.
And walk on my hands.
What?
I can very easily do the splits.
That's cool. I wish I could do the splits.
I mean, look, it's a good party trick.
Yeah.
Not that I crack it off.
Do you pull that off a lot of times?
Weirdly enough, it doesn't make it onto the stage at conferences.
Okay, I was going to say South by Southwest.
But I cultivate it now mostly through yoga.
Yeah, cool.
And that brings me a lot of joy. I do think I went through a period of trying to do a lot of weights and grow muscles, and I injured myself, and I went to my physio, and he was like, why are you doing this? And I was like, well, I just feel like I should. And he was like, but your body is designed for like dancing and yoga.
Oh, so cool.
And so he basically said, stop fighting yourself. Like, go and do the thing that you're designed for.
Oh my God, I would love somebody to tell me that. Your body is designed for this.
Yeah.
And
well, you look
dancing
like you
and
might
yoga is so cool. I would like to be a dancer.
Well, it feels good for me.
Yeah.
And so again, I think finding what feels good is kind of, it's key in business and it's key in life.
So true. So do you do yoga quite a bit?
A couple of times a week.
Yeah, cool.
I'm not crazy about it, but
yeah,
I if I don't do it, I get crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like your release. Yeah.
Like I don't. Yeah. If I'm not exercising, if I'm not moving, if I'm not stretching.
Yeah.
We're gonna have problems.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, I've kept you long enough in the chair, so now you can get up and move around. But Georgia, thank you so much for joining me on the couch.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's been wonderful. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm Amanda, the host of Not Just A. If you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you follow and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Don't forget to check us out on social media via the links in the description. If you're liking the content, feel free to drop a comment. We'd love to hear who you want to hear from next. Thanks for watching.